As a beginner, the quality of the soil you use in your pen will play a major role in the success of your farm. Now, these are a few pens that we were using to incubate snails prior to this point. So look at those soils carefully. You will notice something very clear. You notice that some of them have been packed together. Now, I would casually tell people, see, you have to be clear about the quality of soil that you want to use and how do you even test for. So I give them this example. Go outside in your farm or anywhere, go get grasses. Pull out the grasses from the soil. Look at the texture of the soil that comes out there. One thing you notice is that it's not too wet, it is not too dried. It's just not too wet, it's just not too dried. So I was just pulling out some dead snails from that farm. You notice something. When they cluster like this and your mulching material is on the snails themselves, you notice that dead snails can stay there, die and decay, and you wouldn't even notice as compared to the AgroCycle standard. Anyways, I spent some time inspecting the snails to find out which one was in good shape. So you could notice that almost all the pen are arranged in that manner, with the mulching material sent to one particular side, and all the snails had to come to that particular point. Now the problem with this is you have difficulties trying to distribute the food evenly, because if all of them had to stay on one side, there's a problem. Anyway, that's me.
One of the farms, and we are trying to do a farm setup. So I was invited to come find a way to refurbish the farm and get the farm functional. We've started the process already. We've started taking out some snails, and over the course of today and hopefully tomorrow, we'll be able to clean the entire pen, get the farm functional. I think we have a dead snail here. How many of us are this? So that's a dead snail there, and we'll do that across the entire pen and meet our farm manager. So what do you have to say to us?
I'll just greet everybody.
Okay.
All right, mommy.
Now, exactly what I was talking about. Remember, I told you that instead of putting the mulching material directly on the snails, you could put your sticks inside the pen, then suspend the mulching material. Did you notice that instead of the snails clustering to one side, these snails could hang upside down and hang on the roof? Look at it towards that end. Now, we're just trying to replicate this across all the pen, and the first step would be to get the right soil texture. Look at that soil you have there. It appears as if it's not humid, it doesn't have contain the right amount of water, but the moment you touch it, you know that it has the right quantity of water. The soil in your pen should not be waterlogged. You shouldn't have a scenario where you take up the soil and you squeeze it and water is dripping out of it. And especially if you're in the western part of Nigeria, notice that there's a decent amount of clay in the soil, and it happens that even in the loamy soil, it happens that the clay content is usually very, very high. Hence, it's relatively very sticky. And I noticed that with a lot of new farmers, they tell you, they can't even hatch their eggs. The problem with sticky soil is that when you bury the eggs, or soil with high clay content, when you bury the eggs, they kind of coagulate, and just like clay, it becomes stronger. The snails will have difficulties breaking out of the shell or coming out after they are done. So what we basically did was to take out the eggs that we found while trying to loosen the soil. You will notice that some farmers will be complaining, "Oh, Mr. Eggs, I don't have snails. I'm not getting eggs. I'm not doing this." The moment you start loosening your soil, you notice that a lot of snails have been burying their eggs by themselves. Because in their nature, what they do is they make a hole, they lay the eggs in there, and they leave it to hatch. Eventually, they'll hatch and come out. In the natural environment, they don't dig it too deep. They just make small holes that would accommodate their babies, and makes it very easy for their babies to hatch out and go about themselves. Now, that's another one that we spotted, another dead snail that we spotted in the farm. You will notice it's a very big farm, and you could see something that I've highlighted already.
be rest assured that these issues have been rectified, and that's why we came to the farm. It has been rectified clearly. Now I'm just trying to show you all the areas that you could find in the farm and talk about other things that you need to know as a beginner farmer. Now, very importantly, what do you feed your snails? I have had this theory that you need to feed them watermelon. Genuinely, I think a lot of persons are doing this watermelon therapy and, or will I say, feeding plan. And I noticed that it's going out of hand. Watermelon is quite expensive. There is a ton of things that you can buy. There's pawpaw, there is mango, there is garden egg. You can actually feed them corn, although corn is expensive. A ton of things that you can shop, guava, literally anything that you can eat in the terms of fruits as a human being, your snails can eat them. Do you know that your snails can even eat the cocoyam? Yes, they can eat cassava peels, even cassava tubers. You can still give it to them, they will still eat it. Yes, they can. So right here they are loosening the soil to make sure that it has the right texture. You can notice, see, they're washing the mangoes. Like I said, snails can comfortably eat mangoes. They don't have a problem with that. They're washing the mangoes. The plantain leaf is the mulching material, and the PVC board you're seeing is what is used to feed them. It is very unhealthy to get foods and just place it on the soil for the snails to eat. Now, is it necessary? Like, when I mean unhealthy, I don't mean at the moment you're doing it, because yes, the snails will go there, they will eat. Do they care? No, they don't care. But guess what? The remnants of the food that is left in the soil, what happens to it? It has tendency to attract ants, it will attract flies and other things that might end up harming your snails. Basically, what we're doing, we are cutting wood so that we can place them in such a way that it will suspend the mulching materials. That is all. Nothing special, nothing out of place. So you just have to cut the first one and measure it to know if it fell in line with what is required. Now look at that pen. If you notice, first thing, we placed blocks inside. Were the blocks placed on both edges? No, they were brought closer. The PVC board will be placed on one edge, and the other edge, the PVC board will be placed there. Then water and food will be placed on the PVC board. Anyways, you will find all these things available as we keep on going through the videos. Yes. Now back to what I was talking about as regarding the food. Just look around you. Go to the market. I don't like citruses. I've seen people feed their snails pineapple, oranges, and the rest of them. I'm not a big fan of those things. I am genuinely not a big fan. Okay, notice how they place the PVC board. Somebody will ask me, should I place the front or the back? Please don't go out. Those things shouldn't be like, they are basic things that you should know. Whichever way you place it, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you place your snails you place it there, and your snails comes there to eat. One of the benefits of having the PVC board is very light. You can easily wash it. Very easy, no big stress, no big deal. You can easily pick it out and wash it. The other thing is it reduces the chances that the whole leftovers will be scattered everywhere. They come there, they eat, and that's it. Notice how they slice the mangoes. Somebody will ask me, Mr. Rex, is it are they going to, please, if you want to slice into smaller bits, that's up to you. If you have the time, if you want to slice like this, that's up to you. Please, if you don't slice it, how would they open it? So don't even come and ask me if they don't slice it, how would they open? Like, don't ask me that. Basically, what we are doing is reintroducing the snails back into the pen. Yes, nothing too special. Just wash them and we reintroduce them back into the pen. You will notice something. The snails will start climbing. I'm well aware you're preparing to ask me, how often do I wash my snails? Please, I don't think all that is necessary. Most times, washing them too regularly would stress the snails. Some of them have eggs inside. They will feel stressed and they might not be able to lay effectively, or they will lay under duress and it won't be fertilized. So please put all those things into consideration. There is no pressure on you to wash your snails. You can stay a whole year without washing your snails. Now, these particular snails are the AMS breeders. Yes,
AMS. The feature is that the tip is usually pink. The tip is the tail is usually pink in color, and close to the body is also pink in color. One of the downsides is they don't grow too big relative to the AMO, and they don't grow really fast. But they will give you babies. Trust me, they will give you a lot of babies. And if you're good at hatching, they would take most of your farm. All your farm will be filled with AMS. Basically, this night we've not completed the pen. We've not set up the entire pen, put sticks and all those things in the other pens. But it's getting late and we have to feed the snails. So that's what you're doing. In each pen, it's housing barely 50 snails. So the quantity is relatively enough for them, but we ask that more be put there. Now remember, how do you know the quantity of feed or fruit or addition you should give your snails? It is very difficult. You do it by monitoring constantly. Remember at AgroCycle, we'll say 3 things are what will determine the success of your farm: how well you feed, how clean your pen is, and how well you monitor. Now, a lot of persons do the first 2, but they don't do the last one, which is monitoring. They don't monitor their farms effectively. You might just be wondering, what is it doing? It's putting the dried mulching material that has been soaked in water on top of the sticks that was designated to suspend it. Now, you might be wondering, why dry leaves? Remember, dry leaves, what is dry leaves? It means that water has been taken out of it. Basically, that's what it is. No big deal. Yes, of course, there's withered too. But one quality that dry leaves have is that they have ability to absorb water. Usually, they will absorb more water than their original size, or something like that. And I hope you get what I'm trying to say. They will absorb water. So when they absorb that water, they make the place cool. Yes. And it is harder for them to lose the water. Basically, what I'm showing you is the free range system. While the farm I visited also had the free range, it happened that the net ripped from the middle and it spread to one side and the other side. Now, they didn't stop at having a farm. They had systems to maintain the farm effectively. There was a water tank. There was a place built for the farm managers and people that are actively in the farm. All those things were put in place. So once you want to do something, do it well. My advice to them was, okay, there's no need to struggle, just relax, let the farm grow well. You can notice we don't have major things like bitter leaf, scent leaf, moringa, garden egg leaf. All those things are missing. So my advice to them was just relax, no need to stress too much, still water the farm when you need to, and allow it to grow and become very dense before you introduce the snails. And if for some reason you want to introduce them, I said let them introduce the babies. Yes, the babies, basically, because they would it's easier for you to send baby snails from intensive pen to free range, but you taking them from free range to intensive is a lot more difficult. I think we've done some of the pens already. These were the covered pens are the ones that has been done, and the one that has not been covered is the one they were still working on. Or yeah, I think so. So they are putting in the trays for water. Now somebody will ask me, oh, Mr. Rex, is it that the snails know how to, they will come and drink the water? See, there's a way that snails drink water. It's not the normal way. Now, a lot of persons will assume, oh, they would know that water is in Jericho, in Jerusalem, or all that. No, snails basically absorb water from their skin. They absorb water from their skin. Now, what I'm showing you is the baby snails of the AMS. Remember I told you that they will lay a lot of eggs for you. Guess what? Look at this. A lot. I think we have over 1,000 babies. As I was asking them, they said they had over 1,000 baby AMS snails. How about the AMO? They said they had difficulties hatching the AMO. These snails, they will take time before they become very big, but eventually they will. Now, that's one baby snail that is climbing out. If you close that cage now, it might crush it, just like this one that you're seeing over there. I think it's crushed already. Same food plan for them. Fruits this evening. Fruit, vegetables, and we are sticking to that for some time. Now, somebody might be wondering, what kind of vegetables do I feed them? I've mentioned it: bitter leaf, scent leaf, moringa, garden egg leaf, spinach, lettuces, cabbages, all of them will go a long way to help your snails thrive. Would go a long way to help your snails thrive. If you've watched this video up to now, I want to introduce you to the 5 days intensive training and the AgroCycle program. Basically, the AgroCycle program is how we're able to raise farmers consistently. This kind of farmers consistently. So we train you, that's just what I'm saying. We train you, we mentor you, we guide you. And here's one thing we do. We also attach you to a practicing farmer that is within your state. So you never know, you might just be in Osun State where this farm is. Be rest assured that you'll be attached to this farm where you can learn everything physically. And that's what sets us apart. I'm so happy that we are doing this. I'm so happy that you're watching this video. If you are liking it already, you know what to do. Subscribe, click the like button, and share this video to someone you don't know who needs it. Okay, so from my own end, I will say goodbye.